Okay, here we are. First morning for my moose hunt this time. So, the first trip down here, and we're hoping to get a big one. Got 2 good days coming, so wait till tomorrow before I shoot anything small.
4 points.
All right, let's go.
Well, finally, I get to get in front of the camera this time instead of behind it. And I'm thinking this is going to be a perfect hunt. I got a new camcorder that I couldn't wait to use. I had a new area that we never hunted before, and we had a lot of stories telling us that this was going to be the place where I was going to get a monster bull moose. Of course, with Danny, he was going to be my cameraman, so that was going to be a bonus, get it all on film. I was really pumped for this hunt.
See these two moose up there. It's not what we're looking for. Okay, fog just left. Look what we see. Look at this.
In the morning, it was really foggy on the higher land, and for about an hour, the fog lifted. And when we looked up in the highest part of the country, here was a monster walking just out of sight. So we knew that he couldn't go any higher, just a little spot of woods up on the back that we knew that he was going to most likely bed down in. But as luck would have it, before we got over there, the fog pitched in heavy again, and to make a video would have been useless. So we had to wait until the next morning to go back again and see if we could find him.
Back in next morning. Now we got 3 this time. Cow and calf, and Mr. Man's there.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Here was the bull in the same place again. But this time we had company come behind us. 2 guys from one of the local towns close by. As it is in every other town, there's always a bad apple around. And those guys weren't there to make friends with us. They heard about the big bull we seen the evening before. Maybe it was my fault, we shouldn't have told anybody, but word got out, and those guys tried to beat us over here before we did, which I didn't think was very fair, so we just passed them on 4-wheeler. And before we got up to where the moose was to get in shot, me and Danny was maybe 300 yards away from the moose. But of course I could have killed him, but I wanted a good video. Those guys, well far away behind the 600 yards or more, decides to shoot the gun. I can't say for sure, but in the direction of the moose by the sound how loud the guns were, and drove the moose on us. Like I said, there's a bad apple in every town. It's no different anywhere you go. So it was just not my day, I guess. I wish I took a video of where this moose actually ran. It was unbelievable how a bull this size could go down through the thickest of the thickest Tuckamore, down over a ridge for sure, 500 feet, almost a vertical straight down drop. He got down over there, then on this flat land, so-called flat land, a beautiful country. But of course, anyone knows me and Danny, we weren't willing to give up very easily, especially after what just happened with those local guys. I was more determined than ever to get this moose, so watch this. Me and Danny was split up for a while there, trying to cover more area, trying to find this bull. And Danny happened to look down across the valley and seen him just a split second before he bedded down. Once he bedded down, his antlers was covered up in the Tuckamore. But just for a second, he looked back and got my attention. When he looked back to try to see the moose again, he couldn't see it. So he had to guess where he seen the moose. And looking across this valley, everything looked alike, more or less. You know, it was all the same kind of terrain, same amount of woods everywhere, just little bunches here and there. All we had to go on was where he thought he seen him last.
So we think we got narrowed down to a pretty good spot now. It's pretty rugged country, as you can see. It looks like he's bedded down. There's some by that bag. So the plan is to walk down here, walk across there, and should be right on top of it. He won't have a chance. Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm nervous as I don't know what. I swear I didn't shoot a moose for my life, but guess if I lose that nervousness, I'll quit hunting. It's all part of it. Okay, see you in a bit. Yeah, we're only 200 yards on the moose there now. Single shot. Magazine.
We were so sure of ourselves. We thought that this moose never had a chance. All we had to do was walk up here, maybe 100 yards the most, and it was gonna be all over. I thought that once I looked over this little cliff here, I thought for sure the bull was gonna be there bedded down. But I couldn't see no moose, so I decided to use my binoculars to try to see in amongst the trees if I could see the antlers, because I knew he was bedded down. And no way, I just couldn't see no moose. Not very often have I ever seen Danny. I know he's my brother, but very often have I ever seen him make a mistake in the woods of judging what to do, where to go, how to do it. And I was still confident, I guess, that he must be there somewhere, but it was starting to look pretty bleak. I sneaked another 50 yards closer and just sat down and tried to listen to see if I could hear them. Sometimes you hear moose when they snort or whatever they're doing, blowing their nose. But again, just with no moose, I couldn't hear a thing. I decided to make a few grunts, and I figured now this is when it was going to happen. So I took my time and made a few calls, and again, no sound. Never heard no response, and I was getting a little bit worried. Didn't know what was going on. I thought for sure that being this close to him, that he'd stand up if he heard me call. Somewhere around here, I begin to think, is it ever possible we're looking for a moose that's not even here? Oh, it was so frustrating. So we traveled all this way, drove that big bull because of those local guys, and now again he's going to beat us. So it was getting very frustrating. We finally accepted the reality that the bull wasn't there and start widening our search to look for the bull in a different little gulch, a different little valley, hoping that we could finally find him and get this over with. We decided to leave and walk all the ways back to where we first spooked him in the morning when those local guys were there, just thinking that maybe he made a big circle. I don't know how, but we didn't know any other thing to try to figure out, so we made a big circle back to where we first seen him in the morning, got up on top of the mountain, looked over the other side. All we could see was this lonely old cow. It was time for our lunch, and we sat down on the edge of a cliff, and here was this big boulder that was right on the edge, so I decided we wanted to push him over the cliff just to see it and watch it tumble down over the other side for fun. Watch this.
We'll quit moose up for a bit. No, I suppose it's 800 or 900 feet straight down. So we'll try to roll that rock, head over. I'll grab the camera, see can I watch when he goes.
I was hoping the rock would land in the water, but I guess he fell to pieces and hit the cliff before he got to the water, so it wasn't a big splash like I was hoping.
That's it. Wow, what a big one. I love to go look it over, but I'm too scared. It's the hedge there. Way down over. Rugged coastline. I can't believe this. This is the third attempt now. And we found this big bull again.
We made a big circle and come right back in the same place where Danny got a split-second glance at him. And when we got there, when I looked down, just to the left of where we were, here was the big bull. We just missed him in the first time around.
We gotta take off. It's race against time now.
Here's a little layout of what we'd done earlier that day and the mistake we made. Okay, if you remember back on the beginning of the video, this is where we walked in across the open country here, heading for that bull where Danny thought he'd seen him. We walked in across here, took our time, walked across this little gulch there, and got over on this excellent walk and cliff here. No trees hardly whatsoever. Sneaked up around to where Danny thought the moose was bedded down. We got there maybe 50 yards away, and the bull should have been bedded right there somewhere, according to Danny's idea. You know, that's what he thought. So we called, I done everything, yelled out, threw rocks in the trees, and near moose showed up. So we knew something was wrong. Didn't know what, but we was wondering if the moose got up and walked away as we was walking over, but it was too open. We didn't think that would be possible, but anything is possible, I guess. So anyway, Danny decided to leave and walk across here over to this next ridge and look down in this next valley just to see if he was over there. Then he left and walked back across this valley here, looked all around here, couldn't see no moose, up over the ridge, and on top where he was planning on meeting me. While he was over there, I was looking over here, because every little gulch you don't know, you can't see for sure, and moose could be anywhere. So I searched all this area here, walked back up over the cliff, and met Danny up on top. Then we left and walked back to where we spooked the moose in the beginning from those local guys. But the mistake was, if we had to walk down over here in the morning, over here, stopped and looked down over there, the big bull was bedded right there, and we didn't even know it. That's a mistake that Danny made. But where he just got a split-second glance at him, and he bedded down, he couldn't see him no more. So that's the mistake we made. So that's where we are right now. Now we know it. Now we're going to sneak over to where the bull is and shoot from the top of this cliff, because it's only like about 100 feet down over. So it's just luck. Here's some more bad news, if we didn't have enough already. Danny, which was supposed to be my cameraman, done a good job of filming up to the very point of when I actually pulled the trigger. It was getting late in the evening, and we knew that we had a ton of footage up to the kill shot, so we decided not to turn the camera on until we got over on top of the cliff. So we looked down at the moose's back, and then Danny was going to turn the camera on and I was going to shoot him. Easy as that. But in the process of hiking all day, the camera inside of his pocket or inside of the bag, that the switch got turned off with video camera and was turned on still shot, and we didn't get a thing. I was so disappointed, but I don't think I was any more disappointed than Danny, because this would have been a perfect hunt, excellent video, or it would have been, but Danny had the switch turned off. And I got my moose, but still it wasn't what I wanted. So I guess it was just a bad day overall. Everything went wrong. But anyway, I got my big bull, and despite what those guys did to me, eat your heart out, guys. I got the bull, and that's all I can say. We got the moose all deboned. The first one that I've ever deboned here in Newfoundland. So you know what it means. You kept me in a very good place. So we got a uphill climb, up the mountain. That's no joke. Ready? Not really.
got too much. I got the most, I think.
Whatever.
We gotta come back again for another trip yet, though. Maybe more, I don't know.
Now, both of us was no strangers to carrying moose on our back, and that's not the problem. Carrying the moose wasn't a problem, but this trip was going to be all uphill.
So
I mean, straight uphill. It was so steep that you almost had to be on your hands and knees, leaning forward, stop yourself from falling back over. So it was going to be a challenge, but after a while, eventually we would make it.
There she is. Oops. Too far. Here's the Mohican coming with the antlers.
As you can see, we had an uphill climb. It was up, up, up. It was wasn't nothing easy about it, but it's something I remember for a long time. And despite the fact that things didn't work out, I loved every minute of it, and I'd do it all again. As you can see, even the wind was against us, but we made it back to the bike, packed it all on the bike, and hit her for the truck. This might not have been the smoothest country around in Newfoundland, but I can tell you one thing, it's absolutely gorgeous country. Well, we weren't looking forward to this trip back to the truck. We knew it was going to be tough, but as long as we keep the 4 tires on the ground, we'll do okay. But after a long time, we finally got back to the truck after going through a lot of rough country. But I think, like I said before, it was well worth the hunt. So I really enjoyed it. That was the main thing. This was last year's hunt, and this year I didn't get a chance to go back till late in the season. I was guiding in the Yukon again, and back here in Newfoundland, and then back home just helping friends and get their moose, and things just didn't work out that I could get over earlier. So I didn't get a chance to get over here and enjoy it like I wanted to. So me and a friend of mine went over right on the end of the season, and as luck would have it, again, this time the bulls had their antlers gone, and we just went in on Woods Road, and lucky enough, the first thing I seen was a beautiful bull moose, but again, no antlers. It was a big bull. So I got my buddy Travis England to do the film for me. I made sure that the camera switch was on in the right place, and he done an excellent job of filming me shoot my bull. It was a long shot. Again, I had to run into with a couple hunters. They seen that I was going after the moose, but they continued to walk in the road, which was going to drive the moose. I knew that, so I was forced to take well over a 300-yard shot, which was one of my longest shots I ever made. But I was using my 7mm STW, so I knew that if I could keep the gun straight, I didn't have any trouble getting the moose. Watch this. Of course, I would have liked to got closer, just for the camera's sake, but the moose was going to run away. So,
all right, we just riding in the Woods Road here. Trav looked at it, of course. He had seen it first, and there's a bull up there now. Oh, he's 500 yards away. We got to walk in the road a bit, get a closer shot. It's too far yet. So we're gonna get ready. Watch, keep watching.
I knew that was a hit.
Do it.
Oh yeah, keep watching. He's gonna follow him. Won't fight.
Yes, boys, I missed the moose, but that moose is a long ways away. And just for the video's sake, I tried to shoot it in the neck.
Yes.
Obviously, it didn't work. So this time, I'm gonna take him in the shoulder again.
Yeah.
Watch this.
He's down. And this is hunting guy
That's how it's
Dion
done.
Dix.
But the worst thing is, the big bull got his antlers gone. Use a beautiful 7mm STW. Just driving in the woods road. Okay, across the cutover. There he was. But I got nothing to show him. Only a big ear. That's it. It's gonna make nice pictures. As you can see, zoom in there, look. Just a proof. I shot him. Well, I was rushed because the wave hunters come behind and skidoo. I would have come closer, in fact, because he didn't know we was there. I had a rangefinder, lucky enough I did have a rangefinder, and it was 340 yards when I shot him. It was a pretty good shot, I think, but I have to say so myself.
Well, this was a much easier hunt. We just pulled up beside him on skidoo, put a rope on him. I wasn't used to this, and just dragged him to the road and pantsed him beside the road, beside the ditch, and put him aboard the truck, and he was good to go. Well, congratulations to my own self, and I hope that next year I can do the very same thing, but this time get a good trophy rack, plus get it on film. I sure hope so. I guess I'll just have to wait and see.